Right, guys, so I've just watched Dr. Jordan Peterson speak at the SSE Arena in Belfast, and I have to give my initial reaction to it. The man is a brilliant, excellent, fantastic speaker. I wasn't able to record any footage because they didn't want any of that done, but I was able to record some audio which I might edit and put out tomorrow onto my YouTube channel. But he talked about the usual things that Jordan Peterson speaks about. He talked about Moses. He referenced the Old Testament a few times. But I have to sort of extract what I took from it. And what I felt that Jordan Peterson done was we were all in a counselling session. We were all his patient. And the first 10 minutes, it was his wife that spoke. And she's a fantastic lady. I have to say that she is a really, really good speaker. She's a sweetheart of a woman, and she talked about her life. She talked about her trials and tribulations and all the things that happened in her life, and really warmed up the crowd. And I actually would like to hear more of her experiences. But he talked about the fog and my interpretation of the fog, what I interpret. And I think what he does, he says these things, Jordan Peterson says these things, and then everybody can take their own interpretation of that. Nobody went there tonight and got the same feeling. We all got our own individual takes from it. And he talked about the fog, and it was about maneuvering through life, and it was very interesting. I'm going to listen to the audio back because it was complex, but it was interesting. And I think a lot of the things that he was speaking about in regards to maneuvering through life was facts about perseverance, about things aren't always going to be good, but how can you elevate yourself? And if you're in a situation, and how do you feel you're going to be in 10 years time? And if it's dismal, then change that now. I'll give a better assessment of that in future video, and maybe the next video I'll make in this. But one thing that stood out to me, that maybe it hit hard for me because it was, I don't know, maybe it's something I need to change in my life, was when he talked about relationships with your partner and bickering, arguing, and it was about pure self-reflection. So how can you purely self-reflect and look at a situation, especially when you're bickering with your partner, your wife or your husband? And it's something that we always do, and we don't like to self-reflect on how we actually could be the cause of the argument. And actually, hold on, if we constantly are right in a situation, you're having an argument with your missus or your husband, and you're always right, well, what that does to your partner is it completely diminishes their personality to the point that they're a shell of themselves. And I think it was something that I needed to listen to, because I'm a very opinionated person. I think I'm honest, but I've never been honest about that. I was never honest about that when it comes to a lot of men aren't honest about that. When it comes to the relationship, we all think we know best. We're men, we think we know best. We think that, but in turn, what that does, what you can do to a person, a man or a woman, you can make them a shell of themselves. Not in a purely negative way, but they probably don't even want to argue with you. If you get to the point where, well, hold on, this person isn't even arguing with me anymore, then the relationship's done, and they feel that their life is meaningless and worthless, because what's the point of arguing with this person, because they're always right. And that goes both ways. And I really thought about that, and I really said to myself, am I the type of person that can really self-reflect and go, do you know what? She needs to have her wins. If she doesn't get her wins, then it's going to be living in hell. for both of us. She's going to feel diminished, and I'm going to feel diminished, and you don't want to get to a stage where arguments don't even feel like anything, you know. And when an argument is when you're in the heat of an argument, to be able to walk away, the ability to walk away, fully self-reflect and think, could I have done better? And that's what I took from that. That's maybe it's something in my life, possibly could be something in my life that I need to work on. Maybe that's why I've took that from that. But it helped me a hell of a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. Really, listening to him speak helped me a hell of a lot. And I think moving forward in my life, I'm definitely going to prioritize my other half and her battles, and let her have her wins, because if she doesn't get that, then she's not going to have that sense of accomplishment. And when I say wins, I mean it could be an argument. It could be if she accomplishes something, you know, don't take that opportunity to bring up the past. Don't say, oh, well, you done well this time. This is fantastic, but let's learn from the past. Praise the moment. Praise the moment, and sort of cherish those times. And instead of filling your partner full of resentment and bitterness and hatred, I got that win, that's fantastic, I got that win, but guess what? Now your partner's full of bitterness, resentment and hatred. Well, actually, that's not good, because then nobody's won. You've won the intellectual battle, but you're not winning overall. So I'm going to self-reflect on that, and I'm going to be totally honest with myself and say that's probably somewhere where I'm lacking in life. And I can honestly say that going to see Dr. Jordan Peterson really, really helped me. And I wanted to make this video to have my raw reaction to it. I'll have a few reactions to it, but that's what I took from it, and that's where I could be better, and that's where I could be a better person. And I think it was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. The talk, and he spoke for an hour and a half solid, then took questions. He talked about paramilitary groups in Ireland, he talked about everything, but I wanted to get that off my chest. Fantastic speaker, but also a fantastic helper, and breaking it down in a complex way and a simple way for everybody to understand. So yes, I could do better in my life. I could do a lot better, especially not the way I treat my partner, because I treat her good, I treat her well, but I don't want to diminish her as a person by always being opinionated and right. She needs to have her wins, and if you're a woman doing that to a bloke, he needs to have his wins. You both need to have your wins, so then the spark is always there. And that's what I got from that. So yeah, guys, that's my initial reaction to Jordan Peterson. Fantastic speaker, fantastic man. It's a bit of a shame I didn't get to meet him. I would have really, really liked to have met Jordan Peterson, but look, it is what it is. To be honest with you, that's another thing. I had an opportunity to meet him tonight, and instead of meeting him, I walked out of the SSE arena. I got straight into my car, and I actually rang my wife, and I said, you know, and I had that conversation with her, and I spoke to her, and you know, and I didn't apologize, but I said this is what we could do better. This is what we could do better, and she totally 100% agreed. So I think I was compelled to speak to my better half than actually meet Jordan Peterson, and that's what he left me with. That actually, this is my priority and not this. So yeah, fantastic, absolutely fantastic work from Mr. Peterson.